We'll have some, oh, you already have it. You've got some handouts. Jeff, come on up here so everybody gets a good look at you. This is Jeff Wojciechowski. He is, what's your last name?
Drosky.
He is the, it's Irish. He's the target, one of our targeting directors for the party. And he is available also, not now, but afterwards if you need some additional information, maybe localize something, whatever you need. I just want to put a name with a, not a very good name, frankly, but with a face, so, because I don't even know his last name. So, Jeff is available at any time, Gil, or anyone else. Gil's an easy name. After two straight cycles of sweeping losses, national and state GOP leaders are attempting to spin a narrative about an enthusiasm gap between the two political parties. My friends on the GOP side claim that Republican turnout is soaring over Democratic turnout, and registered Democrats are requesting Republican ballots in droves. We have some empirical evidence today that we'll present that just proves that this is not the case. We've examined voter registration data from across the state following the first 3 weeks of early voting. After requesting data from all 88 county boards of elections, we've received data from 78 of them and compiled the numbers. We can give you the list of the 10 that did not provide in a timely manner that information, the largest being Richland County, and the smallest, I believe, was Monroe County. Here's what we found. The data from across the state tell a different story than what is being told by our opponents and certain political pundits. All of our data is current as of April 19th. First, Democrats today maintain a statewide voter registration advantage of 1.1 million voters over our Republican counterparts. 2.5 million Ohioans are registered Democrats. 1.4 million Ohioans are registered Republicans. Democratic voter registration in Ohio has increased every 2 years since 2000, while Republican voter registration is now at the same level it was in 2002. Second, the impact of so-called party switchers has been hugely exaggerated. In 78 counties, just 21,690 Democrats have requested Republican ballots. Again, in 78 counties, as of April 19, 21,690 previously registered Democrats have requested Republican ballots. This number amounts to 0.8% of the total number of registered Democrats across the state. In addition, 15,396 voters, or 71% of those Democrats requesting ballot change, were previously registered Republicans prior to the 2008 cycle. These historical Republicans switched over to vote in the Democratic primary in 2008 for Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton, and were merely voting once in our party's primary. Paul Beck, a professor of social and behavioral sciences at Ohio State University, widely quoted by many of you, echoed this data, saying that these Republicans were, quote, attracted by a competitive contest, end quote, in the 2008 Democratic presidential primary. But in this election, quote, they are true Republicans who want to participate in their own primary, end quote. Again, we'll provide those specific numbers to you if you'd like to have that breakout. Third, even after the Democratic surge in 2008, our party continues to add voters to its rolls. Since early voting began, Democratic registration has gone up 16,076 voters in those 78 Ohio counties. This is because unaffiliated voters are coming our way in larger numbers, and they are choosing to register Democrats as Democrats rather than Republicans. In the 78 counties across the state that provided information as of April 19, 34,255 unaffiliated voters have requested Democratic ballots, while 32,899 voters have requested Republican ballots. So-called independents have requested 34,255 Democratic ballots, while so-called independents have requested 32,899 Republican ballots. Democrats are drawing in unaffiliated voters by a rate of 51 to 49% over our Republican counterparts. All the literal shouting at the Tea Party rallies and town halls across the country has not resulted in anything that comes close to a groundswell of voters joining the Republican Party. Fourth, if there is a so-called enthusiasm gap that some pundits have referred to, then that gap favors Democrats. 212,649 Ohio voters have requested Democratic primary ballots, while only 187,659 thus far have voted in the Republican Party, Republican primary, I should say. Of the ballots requested for a major party, Democrats hold an advantage of 53 to 47%. These numbers bear repeating. Thus far, 212,649 Ohioans have cast Democratic primary ballots as of April 19th. On the Republican side, the number is 187,659. This Democratic turnout advantage comes even as our friends in the Ohio Republican Party are pouring in resources in an attempt to turn out primary voters to elect John Husted and David Yost over their Tea Party-endorsed favored Republican opponents, Sandra O'Brien and Seth Morgan. The Ohio Democratic Party is not engaged in such efforts across the state. Democratic momentum in Ohio continues to build for the 6th straight year. More Democrats than Republicans are voting in this year's primary. Unaffiliated voters are joining the ranks of the Democratic Party in higher numbers. Historic Republicans who are returning to their roots are far outweighed by those unaffiliated voters who are now attracting. And Democrats are adding voters to our rolls even after the historic presidential primary of 2008. Finally, today, Democrats maintain a 1.1 million voter statewide registration advantage over our Republican counterparts. Remind you that Jeff and Seth, going forward through the day or through the week, can always provide you with specific information as well. And we expect, as soon as all 88 counties are reporting, that we'll update our numbers. And if you were to look at the 10 counties who have not reported, you'd see names. These are the counties, 10 counties: Dark, Jackson, Marion, Miami, Monroe, Noble, Ottawa, Richland, Van Wert, and Benton. With a great cross-section of smaller counties, with the exception of Richland County, both Democrat and Republican. So these numbers, from a percentage perspective, won't be unduly impacted if these 10 counties were included.